Hey guys, it's just Adam and today we'll be doing a mid-season review to end off the year. I hope you've enjoyed the content over the previous 6 months. I would say 4 months because I missed 2 months, but hope you have enjoyed it. I've done a couple of videos talking about how grateful I'm on, and I can't tell you how much I'm really grateful, but in today's video we're going to do a mid-season review for the Spfl season. Obviously we've saw stuff like Hearts doing unbelievably well, we've saw Livingston plummet to people wanting David Martindale out, and we've saw Falkirk come up and show what they're all about. But we will be discussing that in this video, so if you do enjoy that kind of content, remember to leave a like and post notifications and subscribe to Just Adam, and let's have a better 2026. But before that, let's get into the video. Guys, we're going to work our way down the table, and obviously as we've seen, we'll see a lot of surprises in this video, and obviously Hearts are top of the league, and we'll just go right into it. They have started so well. Derek McInnes has came in, implemented his style. Tony Bloom has been involved in the transfer structure, and he's obviously putting big investment and faith into Hearts and the hierarchy and the management team as a whole. They've signed players like Claudio Braga, Kerstades, they've got Frankie Kent playing really well, they've got Devlin playing well. Everybody in that team is playing well. They've completely changed the way Hearts have been looked at in the last couple of years. They've had some shaky performances, especially in the Edinburgh Derby, but you could see at the end they nearly brought it back, but you could see the opposite. The Hibs were they could have even scored more, but they have that winning mentality. Whether Celtic or Rangers catch them will be questioned, obviously, and if they can hold on and get some January signings in, I believe they can hold on, but it's depending on what happens throughout the season. But moving on to Celtic, so we've had 3 managers, 1 intern, 2 permanent. We've had Brendan Rodgers, who we all thought it was starting to get heated with the board. We've had Martin O'Neill. I never knew I would have Martin O'Neill in my lifetime. And we have had many other, like Wilfred Nancy came in obviously, and he's tried to implement his 3-4-3 formation, and it has not worked. He's lost 5 out of 7 games, the only 2 wins coming against Livingston, who we'll be discussing later in the video, and Aberdeen, who had 10 men for most of the game. So in a summary, Celtic have had a very down season. They've lost 4 games, which is unlike Celtic, and it's just not the Celtic way. I don't know where. I think I'll talk about this in the video before the Old Firm. I think this is the last chance for Wilfred Nancy before he's sacked, because if Rangers win at Parkhead, it will be completely done for Wilfred. But let's move on to Rangers now. Obviously, guys, Russell Martin was appointed Rangers manager in May this year, or I think it was June. And obviously, the start he got off to was bad, really bad. He was drawing games left, right and centre. He wasn't losing them, but he was drawing them, and then he was getting absolutely battered by Club Brugge. But we're talking about the league here. The performances, you just saw nothing. Absolutely nothing. And kind of knew that he wasn't going to succeed, and it just didn't go well. They then had a manager search. Gerrard rejected them. They weren't doing that great. We thought the league was done pretty much. I think everybody who's associated with Rangers or were watching Rangers from afar. They thought they were done. And when I say we, I mean Scottish football fans in general. But basically, Danny Rowe comes in and he's stabled the ship. He might not be playing the best kind of brand of football, but he's getting results. And Rangers have one of the best defensive records in the Premiership due to him coming in. The Rangers squad is not talented and by any means. It's not the best by any means, but they're getting results, and that's helping them, and that helps us move on to kind of Motherwell. As I said, I'll briefly go through these. Motherwell obviously got beat off for Rangers, but they've just beat Celtic 2-0, and their performances under their new manager, the way he's brought his philosophy into the football club. Tayo Wanise has came in. He's away to AFCON now. Got Stephen O'Donnell putting crosses in like he's Danny Alves. It's something you don't expect to see. Motherwell this season have been such a well structured club, and they're very exciting on the eye, and I think that helps us when we're trying to see what's going on. And obviously they're in fourth, but they could easily finish the top three. When they won't win the league, but they don't think they'll come second. But third is definitely a question. It's whether Hearts, Rangers, or Celtic drop off. Most likely Hearts or Celtic at the moment. May I add, because we all know there's not really a hype around Danny Rowe, but sometimes Rangers just fall off after the new year, and I think we've seen that the last couple of seasons. Hibs, though, very strong this season. Maybe not finishing games off when they should. Kieran Bowie has obviously been a star player this season. He's been linked with Wolverhampton Wanderers. He's got 7 goals this season. We saw in Edinburgh Derby what Hibs can do. Mulligan's came in. He was meant to go to Rangers, but now he's at Hibs, and he's shown his worth. I think Rangers have missed a charm there, by the way. Hibs are good at picking up players who are good in Scotland. They got McGrath for Aberdeen. He is showing what he's worth. He can play out wide left or in the middle, kind of attacking midfielder. Boyo obviously went down injured yesterday, but we're seeing what Hibs are. There's so many quality players. It's just they need to try and take more risks because they're not taking their chances sometimes, and it's costing them. But they're doing all right so far. But Aberdeen, obviously, they started the season the opposite for the previous season. They started absolutely horrendous. They were hard to watch, very hard to watch. But ever since then, Europe might have affected them as well. They've started to pick up form. It might not be the best of form, but it's winning games or drawing games. It's just a team you don't know what you're getting. Obviously, the manager came in last season, he implemented it, we saw it, we could get for Aberdeen, but it's not hit the heights of that yet, again. But I think we could see it, because, I mean, Carlson is he's a very good player. Because they've signed a lot of players for Scandinavia, and they continue to show good at scouting, but it's just sometimes it feels like you don't have an indefinite starting 11. So I think that's something they might need to change. But obviously, I mean, what a start to the Premiership. Obviously, they've went to Ibrox and drew against Rangers at home. They've done well against all the top sides. John McGlynn is still implementing his style, even though I might add, he's in a tougher league now. They continue to build that relationship with the fans, and it continue. Scott Arfield's obviously just left, but it doesn't look like it's making a difference. They're still playing a attractive attacking football. Defensively, they're quite strong. I think if they get signings in January, they definitely can make that top six. Because as I said, Aberdeen are quite shaky at the moment. Moving on to Dundee United. We've obviously seen that they've won a lot of games, but they've went on a big bad, no winning games, but they've been drawn. Because before they beat Celtic, they were on a game of, I think it was 10 games without a win or something like that. So it's again like Hibs, they're inconsistent. So if they finished games off and didn't make silly mistakes, they would be higher up the table than they should be. But that said, they've done quite well so far. Jim Goodwin is getting what he wants out of them. That performance against Celtic second half was amazing, honestly. And if they can keep that up, they will definitely finish in the top six. Definitely. Top six is very competitive this year, like every year, but we'll see how it goes. Obviously, they're City rivals. Stephen Presley came in. They lost Lyle Cameron, Mulligan, a couple others, and we never knew really what to expect. Didn't get off to the best of starts, if I remember correctly, and it was a very up and down start to the season. But I mean, they've beat Celtic, and that was under Rodgers. They've won games convincingly. They've maintained performance, but it's just whether they can turn that into wins. It's like every other club. They're just not putting enough points up. But I think they're safe. I think they will be safe. Obviously, it's a mid-season review, but I don't see them going down or making any drastic drop in form. Stephen Presley's just doing what he's doing. Obviously, the expectations are a bit higher because of previous seasons under Tony Docherty, but I don't see anything wrong with that. St Mirren, obviously, they're top six fanatics. They come every season, finish top six, 3 seasons in a row, as Stephen Robinson said in my vlog. It's the only team to do that outside Celtic and Rangers. So this season they have not been picking up enough points. Performances have probably not been the best in the league, but in the league, I mean, they've won the League Cup, so that kind of adds up for it. But they're 2 games behind, obviously, because they're a game in hand for the League Cup final or semi-final, and they've only played 18. So, I mean, if they win the 2 games, they're up to 9th. So it's not drastic. It's not they're nowhere near relegation, but I'm sure a couple of January signings, because I've watched St Mirren against Airdrie, I've watched them against Rangers, I've watched them against Celtic, and I don't think there's anything to worry about. Marcus Fraser's been really good, apart from the penalty last night. Mandron up front, what a player. Ayungu, so many good players in that St Mirren team. I mean, I've always liked Mark O'Hara. They continue to impress me, but I think really, obviously they started with Stuart Kettlewell at the start of the season, and they went 10 games without a win, and then he got sacked. It wasn't good enough. He tried to implement something, didn't work. They're on currently 2 wins, 7 draws, 11 losses. They have a minus 17 goal difference. It is by far the worst Kelly side I've seen in the last couple of years. They're on, obviously, second bottom. You do start to get worried. 4 points off Livingston, who have played a game less. So if Livingston even pick up another win, we could start to see worrying faces. And Kelly and Ayrshire in particular, I've not seen anything for Kelly to tell me that they can stay up. They don't look like they look disjointed. That's the best word to use it. But I don't see any change from them, to be fair. They're obviously looking for a permanent manager. Who they get will be interesting. But on the other hand, by far the worst team. I think we all expected this, to be fair, to use. David Martindale, fans are calling for him to get sacked. I was going to make a video about this, but I just don't see it changing it. Livingston, what else can they do? Their budget's low. He's done all he can in the last couple of years. I just don't see them coming from anywhere. Their goal difference is honking against Celtic. They go goals up, but they just continue to make mistakes. It's showing a lack of confidence, and you understand where that comes from. But anyway, in summary, the league table is very competitive this year. Very surprising. And yeah, so hope you enjoyed the mid-season review from Just Adam. And if you did enjoy the video, remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like and put in post notifications. I hope you had a great day. Thanks.